So we talked about the second brain. Here's an interesting, anybody ever hear of the work of Bruce Lipton? Oh, geez. This might be the only class that I've ever...
You know a lot about medicine for some reason.
That I've ever had that knew about Bruce Lipton.
He raised his hand up.
Yeah, he really doesn't work for OB.
I'm going to call you Dr. Wayne.
That's all he studies, so.
Well, Dr. Lipton was really interested in not only scientific discovery, but in finding where the God gene was. So that's why he wrote the book, you know, The Biology of Belief. And so I'm going to tell you a really quick story about one of the experiments that he did, where he had 4 petri dishes with human cell in each one of them. And then in the first one, he put some mercury in there. And guess what the cell did? I wish I could do the Michael Jackson moonwalk. And then he put some food, some cell food in, and guess what? It moved towards. Now, this is where it gets a little bit, not freaky, but I know I have 2 advocates, and at least they read the books, and they know. He had some people argue around one of the cell dishes, and guess what they did? Guess what the cell did? And then he had some Buddhist monks come and pray by the 4th cell. This is only going one way, all right? He moved towards, the cell moved towards the prayer. I'm sorry, he repeated it 100 times. The results were the same every time. So when you talk about, and then we go back to this whole equation where it happened like 4 billion years ago that these amoebas came to be, and then for 3.75 million years, that's all there was single cell. Then they started to come together, right? So for 3.75 billion years, we know that this second brain was really the thing that allowed us to develop and do what we do. And this is why the membrane is the second brain. Because the membrane does all this talking about what gets in and what gets out. So I just thought that having him do that also told us where God was. That God's in all of us. And it's in the membrane of every cell in our body. And I think that's what he intended, or she intended, was for it to be there for everyone. And you can use it as you will. It's your choice. You have the power. All you have to do is activate it and use it. How else can you get 6 billion people to be processing stuff? I mean, what was the movie that Jim Carrey did where he was God? He played God for a couple of days. You remember Bruce Almighty. That's it. And the messages were coming so fast he couldn't process them, and he was typing 1,000 miles an hour, telling everybody yes, 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 yes. Everybody was having well, you know, I'm sure we don't have any idea if there's a God, what God looks like or can process, but I think that was his way around it. That was a workaround. I'll just put this stuff in every cell, and then you guys can figure it out.
It's similar to the studies done on water, the molecules.
Yes, yes. What the bleep do we know? Yeah, which is which.
The most beautiful, amazing
I know.
pattern you've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like a snowflake, if the water is experiencing something nice and happy from the thoughts of another.
And then the opposite is true. It becomes ugly water. This is in a movie that you can actually rent or buy called What the Bleep Do We Know? And it's a bunch of physicists getting around to this point of understanding how water molecules can actually change under different types of environments.